Did you call me? Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is just a quick sit down talking video. Something I just wanted to bring up because I've been hearing it a lot lately, and so I thought it would help to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's just go ahead and get started talking about not seeing results on your weight loss journey right away, or having a week maybe where you have a gain or you don't have a loss at all, and how much of a mental struggle that can be, and it's really is a challenge. So now that we are 3 weeks into the new year, this is when it really starts to get tough for people who maybe made resolutions and aren't seeing results right away, or maybe saw really good results the first couple weeks and now they're stalling. And really that is the most important part of your journey. I truly believe it, because sticking through it and staying consistent through the parts where you might not be seeing the results you want is hard, but it really is what keeps you on track and makes this a lifestyle change. So one thing that I've been getting asked a lot lately is, did I lose a bunch in the first few weeks? And for me personally, yes, I saw some big losses in the first week. I think the first week I started WW, I lost 6 pounds, and that was because I made drastic changes at first. We were eating out every single day, if not multiple times a day, at different restaurants, different fast food. The amount of points I was eating in a day was averaging probably 100 points maybe, and I quickly adjusted when we started WW. We stopped eating fast food for an entire month. So we made some pretty major changes and expected to have a big loss from those changes, but it did start to slow down. And actually I think mine slowed down a lot quicker than Adam's did, so he continued to lose like a decent amount, and I really started to stall off after the first few weeks. And that really got to me, and it really wasn't something easy to deal with, because you're so excited, things are going well, maybe you had 2 weeks of losses and then all of a sudden you gained a few pounds and you're like, what is going on? Everything I did was right, and you still are staying on track with the choices. But there's so many different things that go into your weight and weight fluctuations that it's important to not just depend on those and to keep going when it gets hard mentally like that, because that really is the biggest test. One thing that I talk about all the time is taking progress pictures, because that is really gonna help you. That's something that really helped me during that time. I even personally didn't see any changes on my body for the first like month or two. It took a while for me to really see it, although I took progress pictures and I started to slowly see changes just in the pictures. Even if I didn't see it in person, or if the scale wasn't reflecting it every week, I did see slight changes in pictures, and I continued to take them throughout my journey. Now, in the beginning, I didn't take them every single week. I took them every couple weeks, but more towards the end, and even now, I start to take them every single week, just because it really is hard when the scale doesn't move, but I'm still progressing and I'm still improving different areas of my body, and I want to continue to see those results. So the pictures really make a difference when it comes to that. Everyone's journey is different. So even when I say I lost like 6 pounds the first week, that doesn't mean you're gonna lose 6 pounds in the first week. You might have not made that big of changes. You might not have as much to lose as I did. Like there's so many different variables that go into it that you cannot compare to someone else's journey at all, or you are just going to get discouraged if you don't see the exact same results. You're going to get results, you're going to make this lifestyle change, but you have to do everything for yourself, with yourself in mind, your body in mind, and what works best for you. There are a few things that I want to say if you maybe have stalled. During my time of the month, I completely stopped weighing myself. I used to still for weigh-ins, but every single time I was either up or stayed the same. It was so hard to see a loss during those times. And so really I just started to make more of my focus on pictures around then and not the scale. I had to kind of step away from the scale. So that can play a role. If you have a meal the night before that has a lot of sodium, that's gonna play a role in what the scale says in the morning. And it could even depend on how much you ate the previous day. There are just so many different things that play into your weight and weight fluctuations that you can't just depend on that. So when people are asking me, why am I not seeing results? Or why did I lose the first 2 weeks and now I can't lose? That is why. There could be so many different reasons. And if you truly stuck to tracking and you stayed within your points and you ate your weeklies and you did activity and everything, you're drinking your water, getting sleep, then just keep going, because you're doing the right thing. You should feel better and you're going to see the results in the long run. This is a process. This is a lifestyle change. And if you stop now, you're just gonna go backwards and not see the results that you were going to see, because you were on your way there. You really are, especially if you're making these changes. So some things I like to focus on if I feel like I'm stuck, or if I haven't lost, or maybe I gained. First of all, am I eating enough? because there were some weeks where I wasn't eating my weeklies, and I actually found that when I ate them, I had better losses on the scale. So making sure that I was eating enough. And by that, I didn't mean incorporating one more big cheat meal to each week. I spaced out my weeklies to have protein bars, to have nuts, to have different filling snacks that really satisfied me and made sure that I was getting enough food in the day. Another thing that I would focus on is, am I getting enough sleep during this time? Maybe I had a week where it was like a pre-order week and I was just not getting enough sleep every single night. I was getting only like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. That definitely shows on the scale, and I always would struggle with that in the beginning because that was when I was still working at my other job with my cookie business and trying to do these new lifestyle changes, and there were nights where I did not get enough sleep and it shows on the scale. And it's crazy because there were sometimes too, like Adam and I would wake up to weigh and it wasn't what I wanted to see, so I would go back to sleep for a few hours because it was my off day and I just was able to, and I knew I didn't get enough sleep. And then I would go weigh again and I was down another pound or something. So it really does fluctuate with that, and it's nothing to be too serious about. The next thing too is, are you drinking enough water, or are you drinking too many of your calories? Maybe you're drinking a lot of pop still or a lot of juice and it's just empty calories you're not realizing you're drinking, or you're just, because of it, you're not getting enough water. And water is so important in staying hydrated, and it's amazing what it does on your weight loss journey for you and how much better it just makes you feel all around. So make water a priority. I'm telling you, I say it over and over again, but it is huge what it can do for you. I've talked about it before, how you can reward yourself for staying consistent. That really takes a lot of pressure off weighing and the scale and what it says. So if that's something that'll work better for you when you're not seeing results, maybe try to set, if I stay consistent for a week, I'm going to get myself this, and get yourself the new shirt that you've been looking at or something like that. Like something small or something that will just motivate you through the week to make those choices, track everything, and stay consistent, drink your water, whatever you want to set for yourself. And if you stick to those after a week, you're going to feel good when you realize you did it and you get to reward yourself. And maybe the reward isn't the number on the scale, but it will be when you continue these habits. I promise it will show. If you are truly making these changes and you are truly doing what is best for you in your body and fueling yourself, you will see it reflected in how you feel. It will eventually reflect on the scale, and overall you'll just see the progress. Like I said, there were weeks where I gained, there were weeks where Adam gained, there were weeks where we both stayed the same, and it wasn't the same for us each every week. And we pretty much eat like a lot of the same meals. We eat the same breakfast, lunches, especially when he's off work and we're eating together. We eat the same thing. And so for him to have a loss and me to have a gain in the same week, it does get to you. But you have to just remember that there are so many other things that play into your weight. And so you can't just focus on that number on the scale, because we were both making the same good choices and the same choices to nourish ourselves. And so for mine to go up, or even other weeks, it was his went up and mine went down. And it was like, what, we didn't even do anything different. But it's, everybody's journey is different. And so you have to remember, you're going to have losses, you're going to have gains, you're going to stay the same some weeks, but you can't be too hard on yourself, because that'll just put you backwards. You just have to keep moving forward and continue making those choices. And like I said, I know it's hard in those hard times, but those are the most important times. Those are the times where I saw the most change and the most improvement for myself. It's where my mental health improved so much, because I felt so much more proud when I stuck to it, because I knew that it was hard during those times. And so I hope you guys found this video helpful. Really don't get too hard on yourself and just take it a day at a time. I feel like I say that all the time, but really take it a day at a time. Get up in the morning, make that first choice a good one, and from then on, just continue to make the choices. And if you make a choice, maybe a food choice that you feel guilty about, or you used all your weeklies and you're stressing about it, don't. I know it's hard to hear that, and I know it's easier said than done, but don't get too stressed about it. Track and move on, and the next decision you make it a good one. And I promise you, that alone will just roll over into better habits and feeling better, and it'll just make the journey easier. This isn't some easy thing to do. It takes practice, it takes patience, it takes time and a lot of hard work, but it is definitely possible. And so start small and just keep going. And if it takes rewarding yourself for consistency, then do that too, because that's a really positive thing. But don't focus too much on that number. Don't focus too much on the scale. Take the progress pictures and really focus on how much better you feel all around. Hope you guys found this video helpful, and I will see you next time.